At 3 a.m., my dad texted, "We tore your room apart. Your niece needs a playroom. You're 24, not some pathetic freeloader. Time to grow the hell up." Then followed, "We signed you as co-signer on your brother's $18,000 loan. It's done. Don't screw his life like you did yours." I didn't reply. Just clocked out, went home, dropped a flash drive through the mail slot. No note, no goodbye. This morning they played it. Now my dad's outside in his boxers, screaming for the neighbors to help. My mom's on the driveway, barefoot and crying, shouting that it's all lies. Hey everyone, before we dive in, I have a quick favor to ask. If you enjoy content like this, please hit the subscribe button. It's free, supports the channel, and ensures you never miss out on amazing videos. Alright, let's get started. So this started with something kind of dumb that just felt off. Not even dramatic. I was getting home after a late night, wasn't out partying, just out, whatever. And in the hallway, this little pink plastic teapot was on the stairs, which my niece is always leaving her stuff around, but it was weird to see it upstairs. Usually my mom would have nagged about that. I kicked it to the side and I'm about to head to my room, but I hear these voices in the kitchen, real hushed, like they're talking about someone dying. That's never a good sign in my house. I just ignored it, went to my room, or tried to, except my door was wide open, which no one leaves doors open in my house, not unless they're looking for a fight. And the first thing I saw was my old bed, gone. Like totally gone. Not pushed aside, not covered in junk, just straight up not there. Some of my posters are ripped down, my shelves are empty, there's crayon marks on the one wall and a box of those cheap foam blocks in the corner. I just stood there for a sec, for just like, am I in the right house? Did someone rob me but only take my bed? I started laughing, which was probably a mistake because my mom was right behind me suddenly, and she was just acting like this was totally normal, like, "Oh yeah, we needed the space. You'll be fine in the den. Your niece needs a playroom. You're barely ever home anyway." I could hear my sister downstairs laughing. Didn't even try to come up, just sent my niece running up the hall with an armful of those squishy animals she's obsessed with. She didn't even look at me. Just dumped them on the floor and ran back down, screaming for her mom. So I'm standing in this empty room, my stuff shoved in boxes, my bed gone, and my mom's just like, "You're 24. Stop acting like a kid. You're holding everyone back. It's not forever. You'll thank us later." She just walked out. Didn't even wait for me to say anything. I followed her to the stairs, and she just ignored me, slammed the kitchen door behind her. My dad was in there. I could hear him talking low, but he stopped when I got close. I didn't go in. I just stood in the hall holding my phone. I wish I could say I lost it or something, but honestly I just felt so stupid. Like, why am I still here? I should have left 3 years ago. But moving out is expensive, and my parents know I'm not flush with cash, so they've always held that over me. Like, "You want to go? Fine, but you'll be back, just like your cousin." I went back to what was left of my room, just sat on a box and scrolled Reddit. Tried not to think too much. Around 3 a.m., that's when my phone buzzed. First it's my dad, and it's not, "Hey, sorry," or even an explanation. It's just, "We tore your room apart. Your niece needs a playroom. You're 24, not some pathetic freeloader. Time to grow the hell up." Then a minute later, he sends another, like he's on a roll. "We signed you as co-signer on your brother's $18,000 loan. It's done. Don't screw his life up like you did yours." And like, I know some people are going to say I'm making this up, but he's always been like this. Just does things, then tells you after, like you should thank him for it. My brother's always been the golden boy. Younger, never had to pay for anything, always got bailed out. When I was his age, I was paying my own bills and getting yelled at for not saving enough. My dad acts like I'm some loser just because I don't hand over my paycheck every week. He's mad because I don't help him out with his side hustles or cover for my brother when he forgets to pay his phone bill. My mom just goes along with it, acts like she's stuck, but she's always the one cleaning up after my brother. Never after me. I didn't reply. I sat there, phone in hand, just thinking how many times this has happened, just not this bad. I could hear my dad laughing in the kitchen and my brother's voice loud, like always, like he owns the place. I tried to sleep on the couch, but my niece woke up at like 5 and started screaming for her tablet. My mom started yelling at me to just let her play in my old room, like I was the jerk for being annoyed. So I got up, found the one box with my important stuff, grabbed my old laptop, my passport, a few random things, nothing else. I went into the kitchen, saw my dad in there with his phone grinning at something. He looked up and just nodded. Didn't even ask what I was doing. My brother was eating cereal. Didn't look at me, just kept scrolling on his phone like I was invisible. I pushed past them both, not even gentle about it. My dad just said, "You're not going to start something, are you?" I didn't even answer. I walked out, got in my car, drove around for a while, didn't know where to go. I texted a couple people, no one answered. It was too early. I ended up just parked outside a 24-hour place, sat there on my phone trying to decide what to do. I thought about all the stupid times I'd covered for my brother, all the money my dad borrowed and never paid back, all the times my mom guilt-tripped me for wanting space. I really just sat there playing with the flash drive on my keys, thinking, nah, this isn't even surprising, just the next level up. I went back home around 7. No one up yet except my mom, who just glared at me like, how dare I show my face? I went upstairs, grabbed the rest of what I could carry, and left a flash drive in the mail slot. No note. Nothing. I could hear my mom yelling for my dad as I got back in the car, her voice getting all high and panicky, but I didn't stop. So now I'm at a friend's, not even a close friend. Just someone I know from online. I'm sitting here typing this, just watching my phone, waiting for the messages to start. I know my dad's gonna lose it when he figures out what's on that drive. My brother will probably show up somewhere, try to act like this is all my fault. My mom will probably call every aunt and try to make me look like the bad guy. I don't know. I'm not even mad. Just tired. But I'm not letting this slide. If they want war, they're gonna get it. I'll update when they play the drive. It's not gonna be pretty. Update 1, so update, didn't sleep much. Not really a surprise, but still woke up before my alarm even went off. Not that I needed it. Just kept checking my phone like some idiot. But nothing from my parents. Just a half dozen random pings from the family group chat, mostly memes or my Aunt Kristen dropping updates about her cats. But then my dad jumps in right out of nowhere. Not even a good morning. Just starts going off about kids these days having no respect. Like not even subtle. Just fully broadcasting. Some people in this family think the world owes them a free ride, and people who don't contribute don't get to make demands. Nobody even replies for a minute, so he doubles down, starts tagging me and my brother like he wants everyone to see. Says my niece finally got her playroom and it's about time priorities got fixed around here. My cousin Jill, who's always been on my mom's side, just likes the message. And my uncle Andrew sends a thumbs up, like he's trying to stay out of it. My brother finally shows up in the chat, classic Jason, and he says something about how people need to pull their weight and not everything's about them. I just put my phone down, didn't even want to read it. But then my mom starts calling, and when I don't answer, she starts texting. Then calling again. Then texting my friend's phone, which, in jail, was a move I did not see coming. I'm at this friend's apartment, not even close friends, more like someone I know from a Discord server who happened to have a spare couch. So I'm just trying not to make it weird. I'm not about to air my family drama in his place, so I duck into the little laundry room and call my mom back. She answers all out of breath, like she's been running, and she doesn't even say hi, just launches in about how I'm making things worse. How could I just leave? How dare I embarrass her in front of everyone? She says my dad is mad, but he'll get over it, but I need to come home and apologize, and if I don't, she'll tell everyone I stole from them, which is so wild considering I literally left with like a duffel bag and that's it. I just say, I'm not coming back, and she slams the phone down. Not the first time she's done that, Taba. So I go back to scrolling, but now the group chat is popping off because my dad is now copying parts of my old texts from months ago. Basically trying to make me look ungrateful. He's screenshotting stuff where I asked for money for gas or when I needed to borrow the car and sending it to the group. Then he's saying, see, this is what I mean, always taking, never giving. My Aunt Christine, who's usually Switzerland, just sends a gif and says maybe we should talk privately. But of course my dad doesn't listen. Then I get a text from my brother, not in the group, just direct. And it's all, thanks for screwing me over. Dad says, you're being a child, just sign the loan stuff already. I tell him I didn't sign crap, and he says it's done already, so stop acting like a victim. So for at this point, I'm just pissed. I open my notes app and start writing down every single thing I ever did for these people. All the times my dad made me run errands for him, all the money I put into the house, every single time I loaned my brother cash that never got paid back. I start digging through my old emails for receipts, texts, anything. I have a folder from when I tried to get my own place last year, and my dad said I was too broke, and I find a bunch of stuff about utilities being in my name, which I forgot about. I realize I've got actual proof I was paying the water bill for like 9 months, and my brother's phone bill is still coming out of my account. I go on the banking app, cut off his autopay, and text him that it's done. He replies with a wall of angry emojis and says I'm being petty. But I don't even care. Then my dad calls and I answer, this time just to see what he'll say. And he's already yelling when I pick up. He says I'm ruining everything. Family comes first. The loan is for my brother because he actually has a future, unlike you. I'm lucky we kept you around this long. I tell him he can't just sign my name on things, and he laughs. What are you going to do about it? You're nothing without this family. I hang up. He calls back. I don't answer. He calls again. So I finally pick up and just hold the phone out while he rants. Then I hang up again. My mom texts me a guilt trip paragraph about how I'm tearing the family apart and how my niece doesn't understand why I left. Why can't you just be happy for someone else for once? She writes. She adds, if I come home now, they'll forgive me, but if I keep acting like this, I'll regret it. I don't reply. Meanwhile, my friend's roommate comes home and says, hey, you good? Because I guess he can hear me on the phone through the wall. I just say, yeah, family stuff. Sorry. He shrugs. Sounds rough. I sit there for a while, scrolling TikTok to zone out, but my phone keeps buzzing. Now my cousin is DMing me on Instagram saying, Mom is crying and Dad says you stole something important. What's actually going on? I reply, ask them what's really happening, and she says she's not getting in the middle. So here I am, just sitting, taking notes, collecting receipts, screenshots, drafting a message for the group chat, but not sending it. It feels too soon. I need to get everything together. I'm not just going to let them spin their own story. Not this time. I call the credit union, ask about the loan. The lady is super skeptical. says she can't give me info unless I come in person. But she notes that I didn't consent and that I want a copy of anything signed with my name. I Google what to do if your info gets used for a loan without permission. It's all stressful, but I know I'm the one who's going to have to clean this mess up, as always. Meanwhile, my brother texts again. If you don't come back, I'm telling everyone you stole his money. I reply, go for it. I got receipts. He doesn't respond. Then I start messaging a couple of my dad's friends, just casual. Did you ever get paid back? Most don't answer, but one says, nah, not yet. Why? I reply, might be good to check in soon. So now the group chat is full-on family drama. Dad's still trying to make me look bad. Mom's sending guilt trips. Brother's threatening. My sister isn't responding. She just posts a pic of my niece in her new playroom, tagging everyone. I see my old bed in the background, with my niece jumping on it, and I just laugh. Uncle Leonard messages me privately. Hang in there. It's just family stress, but don't do anything dumb. I don't reply. I don't know. It's all just getting started. I'm not letting it go this time. Tomorrow I'm pulling every record, every payment, every screenshot. They wanted to play games. Well, game on. Next update when the drive gets played. I doubt they're ready. Update 2. So not gonna lie, I thought things had already blown up. But my family's like, nah, let's see how much more insane this can get. Felt like I was just watching from the outside, scrolling through messages with that weird feeling. This can't really be my life. But then my phone kept going, and every time it buzzed, I knew it was going to be something messier. It started early, before I'd even had coffee. My mom tried calling again, but when she didn't get me, she started leaving voice memos, real shaky, like she was making herself cry harder. Background noise of my niece yelling, and my sister saying, just let him go, he'll come crawling back. My mom says I'm selfish and humiliating her, and everyone's asking questions I didn't answer. I just listened. I deleted and blocked her for a bit. Not even half an hour later, my brother is blowing up my phone, spamming texts about how I'm ruining his life since the loan office is calling him non-stop. Now they flagged something weird, the signature doesn't match, and they want to talk to me. He says it's just money and I'm being dramatic, but also that if I don't fix this, he'll have to move back home, and that's apparently my fault too. That's when my dad jumps into the family group chat again, tagging everybody, including people who don't even live nearby. He says, I've gone off the rails. I'm trying to wreck my brother's future. He did what any father would, and now I'm trying to make him look bad. He sends a pic of his new home office, which is literally just the den with my mattress on the floor and my niece's chalk drawings on the wall. Aunt Christine says, maybe this isn't for the group, Leonard, and my cousin Jill just sends a sticker. No one else says a thing. I start thinking, why are they even doing this in public? Why do they need an audience? It's always been that way, though. My dad is big on looking like the perfect family in front of people. So when things break down, he tries to control the story before anyone else can. He's always had this thing about how I'm the problem son because I didn't do things his way. He says I'm lazy, but what he really means is I won't let him run my life. He treats me like I'm just another tool in the shed, something to use when he needs me, not an actual person. Anyway, it's not just group chat drama now. The family money stuff is real. I spent the whole morning digging through old folders and emails, gathering every single bill, every transfer, every favor I did for them. I started dropping little bombs. First thing, I logged into the utility site, changed the passwords, and shut down the autopay I was still running for the house. Then I sent my brother the phone bill receipts and told him he's on his own now. He said I was being a jerk, but I told him I was done being their safety net. I found some old emails from when my dad had me sign stuff just in case years ago, and realized my name was on the title for their second car. I called the insurance company and asked to be taken off the policy effective immediately. The guy on the phone seemed confused and said he'd have to call my dad to confirm. I said, go for it. While that's happening, my mom texts again, but now it's not guilt, it's threats. She says I'm making her sick, she can't sleep or eat, and if people find out what I did to the family, she'll never forgive me. Then she says I should watch my back, because family always finds out when you cross them. I just screenshot everything and send it to a private folder, just in case someone DMs me from Facebook saying, hey, your dad is calling everyone asking if they've seen you. Another message comes from an old neighbor. My dad dropped by and was asking weird questions about where I'm staying. So yeah, he's in full panic mode because without me, the money stuff is falling apart. I text the credit union again, ask for a copy of the loan paperwork, say I didn't consent. They said I'd need to come in and show ID, which I plan to do, but until then, I let them know I'm not responsible for any payments. My brother tries to FaceTime me, I ignore it. Then he texts that if I don't help him out, he'll just show up where I'm staying and get the money himself. I tell him to try it. By midday, I'm getting texts from aunts and uncles, some worried, some nosy. One uncle says he heard I stole money and I should do the right thing and give it back. I tell him to ask my dad how much money he owes me and check the receipts. He doesn't reply. Then my sister texts me, first time since this all began. She says, Mom is losing it, Dad is yelling, niece is upset, can I please just talk to them? I say, not unless they admit what they did. She says, that's not going to happen, you know how they are. I say, then this isn't my problem. The funniest part, my dad tries calling my old friends to shame me into coming home. One actually answers and tells him to leave me alone. My dad just hangs up. Around dinner time, my mom tries to get Aunt Kristen to mediate. She calls, but she's not really on anyone's side. Just says, you know they're your parents, but you also have to look out for yourself. I say, that's all I've ever done. She sighs and says, family's complicated. No kidding. The best, though, is when my dad finally finds the flash drive I left. I guess they decide to watch it together because suddenly the group chat goes silent for almost an hour. Then my dad goes off in the chat, says everything I put in there is lies, says I'm trying to ruin the family, says if anyone believes me, they're out of the will. Like that matters. My mom texts my sister saying she can't believe I would do this to her. My brother just leaves the chat. I get a text from Jill, who's never really liked me, saying, is it true? Did they really use your name for the loan? I say, why would I lie? She replies, I don't know, just seems like a lot. Uncle Andrew sends a DM, you're not the only one dealing with this kind of stuff, but keep receipts. I say, always. So yeah, things are getting nastier. My dad's trying to spin it with whoever will listen. More people are asking questions. The money stuff is catching up with them. Utilities are already overdue. My brother's freaking out about his credit. My mom's calling everyone she knows, crying, saying I set them up. But the thing is, I'm not backing down. Tomorrow, I'm going to the credit union in person. They want to play games? I'll play too. I'm not letting them write my story this time. Next update when things really hit the fan. The neighbors are starting to notice, and my parents are about to lose it for real. Final update. I figured the group chat drama and money mess was peak. Turns out that was just the warm-up. My family's like a reality show with no off switch. If you'd told me last week I'd wake up to texts about my dad outside in his underwear screaming at the neighbors, I'd say you're trolling. But here we are, and it kicked off early, way too early for anyone to be this loud. I got a ping from cousin Jill. She sends me a pic from across the street. My dad standing in the yard, bare legs and boxers, phone in one hand, other hand flailing, yelling at the neighbor like he's about to have a full-on meltdown. The neighbor, an old guy who's always mowing the lawn at the worst times, just stands there, arms crossed, looking confused, like, what do you want me to do about your kid? My mom's on the driveway, barefoot, hair a mess, actually crying. Loud enough I can hear her over the phone. When Jill calls me, she's shouting, it's all lies, it's all fake, don't listen to it, he's trying to ruin us. My sister's in the background yelling at my dad to get inside and stop making a scene. My niece is just sitting on the steps with her squishy toys, not even fazed. The whole block is out, half still in pajamas. Some are filming, most are just watching. So yeah, not subtle. The thing that set it off was the flash drive last night. My parents finally opened it on the kitchen laptop, probably expecting some dramatic note or apology or whatever. Instead, they got a full breakdown. Screenshots, voice memos, scanned copies of bills in my name, every bank transfer, every text where my dad told me to just sign this. It's easier if you don't ask questions. I didn't even go hard, just the facts. But apparently seeing it all lined up broke something. The neighbor called Aunt Kristen to say my dad was losing it outside, and that's when the whole circus exploded. My dad's yelling, someone help, he's ruining my family. He's making up stories. None of it's true, you know me. The neighbor asks him if he's been drinking, which, Lomeo, probably not wrong. My mom's still on the driveway, yelling at my sister who's trying to drag her back inside. She slaps my sister's hand away and slams the gate. My niece starts crying, so my sister picks her up and carries her inside, slamming the door. The neighbor just shakes his head and goes back to work. I start getting texts from neighbors I barely know saying, is everything okay over there? Your dad just accused you of trying to bankrupt the family. I say, tell him to check the credit union and stop putting loans in my name. One lady says, wow, didn't know it was like that. Another just says, hope you're safe. At some point, my dad storms back inside and slams the front door so hard I can hear it through Jill's phone. My mom tries to follow, but my sister blocks the door. They're both yelling at each other, and my niece starts crying. I start getting messages from old friends, people I haven't talked to in years, saying my mom is calling everyone saying I stole from them and that I'm unstable. One guy actually asks if I need a place to crash, wild, because he's never even liked me. I say I'm good, just tired of being the scapegoat. My dad tries to call me. I don't pick up. He leaves a voicemail. I need to fix this. I need to call everyone and say it was a mistake, or else I'll tell everyone you're a thief. I text back, you want to play dirty? Let's go. He doesn't reply. Later my brother texts me, I ruined everything. He's not going to be able to get the loan. He can't believe I do this to him. I reply, take care of your own mess for once. He leaves me on red by noon. The family group chat is a war zone. Aunt Kristen suggests a face-to-face talk. Dad says he's not meeting until I apologize. Mom says she's sick and can't eat or sleep. Classic. Uncle Andrew says, this is what happens when you hide things for too long. Cousin Jill posts the video she took of my dad yelling in his boxers, tags half the family. Dad loses it, leaves the chat, comes back, leaves again. The utilities are officially overdue. I got the notice via email that water's going to be shut off. The car insurance company called and said, your name's off the policy, hope you've got it sorted. The credit union says they're putting the loan on hold pending investigation. So my brother's mad, my dad's furious, my mom's crying. I'm just sitting here, watching it all unfold. I know some people are going to say this is petty, or that I should let it go, but honestly, I'm done letting them use me. My dad's always treated me like I'm disposable, just someone to cover his mistakes. My mom lets him because she's scared of what happens if she doesn't. My brother expects me to bail him out. My sister just wants peace. And my niece, well, she's 4, so she's just along for the ride. I'm not going back. I'm not fixing it for them. I'm not apologizing. If they want to play the victim in front of the whole neighborhood, that's on them. I did what I had to do, and I'm not sorry. Last I heard, my dad's sulking in the den. My mom's calling every relative. My brother's trying to find someone else to co-sign. The family group chat is just memes and awkward silence. Now I'm staying out of it. Let them clean up their own mess for once. I guess I'll see what they do when I'm not around to blame. And yeah, I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of satisfying.